I got good news for you this morning. Matter of fact, it's fantastic news, and I'm happy to share it with you. Um, whatever your situation is that you're going through today, whatever your problem is, I've got the solution. And it's not just words, it's not just hyperbole. I'm bringing the receipts. I'm going to give you real life examples. So stick around, watch this video to the end, and your life is sure to be enhanced and improved. For those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Mark. I am an author, and I have specifically written a series of books called Up Your Averages, and they are a daily guide to improving the quality of your life, to improving the quality of your relationships, and I have a new one on the way, improving your finances. So all three of them together are a series. Two of the three are available so far. But I appreciate you tuning in this morning on this channel. I try and make a video every day offering morning motivations, encouraging words, encouraging thoughts. And the last video that I made, I'll put a link to it. You might can find it right here or right here, wherever it's at. But the last video I made was somewhat personal, and I started not to even make it. In that video, I modeled a prayer. Not just any old prayer, but I was going through some hard times. I wrote a book about how to improve the quality of your relationship, but that doesn't mean the words that I wrote are always adhered to. It doesn't mean that they're always applied inside my relationship. A relationship consists of two people, and both have to be on the same page. And in real life, that don't always happen. Just a little more personal information. I have two daughters. One will be 13 very soon, and the other's 11. And I share custody of them with their mom. And the last year, we've kind of been embroiled in a custody battle, doing the court thing. And that's caused some tensions. It's caused tensions between me and their mom. It's caused tensions between me and them. And our relationship has not been the best that it has ever been. And I kind of carry these things on my shoulders. I get on here and I make the positive videos because that's how I live my life and that's what I believe in. But it doesn't mean that every day is a positive day. I sometimes have to fight to keep my mind focused on positive things. It's not always easy. I have a real life just like y'all have a real life. But it's what you do during those hard times that make all the difference. And I was going through something this weekend, and I wasn't really sure what to do about it. And I got in my little RV camper. That's where my little studio's at here. I got an RV that I'm in the process of converting into a YouTube studio. But I got in here. It's kind of my quiet space, my space, and I began to pray. I was gonna come out here and pray and just turn it over to the Lord. And it come to me to make a video, because sometimes people don't know what to do. Maybe they try to do everything they know to do, and maybe things still go wrong, or maybe they're still fighting battles. And sometimes when you've done all that you can do, the only thing left is to pray. I normally keep that kind of thing private, but it just come to me. Hey, make a video. Show the people how to pray. Show the people how to battle. So the last video I made, I was a little down, and I modeled a prayer the way I pray. And I want you to know, I asked for 3 things in that video. I mean, obviously I come to the Lord giving thanks, ask forgiveness, want to speak to him with a pure heart, obviously. But I had asked for 3 things. The 3 things I had asked for in my prayer, specifically, you know, my kids, when they were younger and they used to wake up in the morning, wherever I was at the house, they would come find me. And they would usually wake up one at a time, and they'd come find me and give me a big old hug and kiss. And that's how we would start our day. Well, as their daddy, I miss that, and I appreciate that. And they hadn't really been doing that often. They kind of gotten away from it. And in my marriage, like most of y'all's, I mean, once in a while, we get a little tiff with each other. My wife will get her feathers all ruffled up, or I'll get mine ruffled up, one or the other. And it was one of those times. And I asked the Lord, I said, you know, I pray when she wakes up that she'll let all this go. And she'll come and she'll give me a little kiss. And after I made the video, I went to breakfast with my kids. And sure enough, well, before I went to breakfast, I made the video. My oldest got up and she come out of the room. She found me. She gave me a big old hug and kiss, just like she used to do. And then my little one woke up and she come out the room and she gave me a big old hug and kiss, just like she used to do. And I went on to breakfast. I took my kids to breakfast, and I come back home. My wife was up, and she come and she laid her head right in my lap, and she held me for a long time. And when she got up, she gave me a kiss. And the rest of the day, the rest of the weekend was great. So I figured if I was going to model a prayer where I asked the Lord for something, and he responded and he answered that quick, well, then I owed it to y'all I owed it to him to tell it. So I figured today I would just tell you, prayer works. If you come to the Lord and you have a contrite heart and you offer up a sincere prayer, he's our Heavenly Father. He cares about us. He cares about what concerns us. You know, I wanted to give you a few examples. I know sometimes I normally do these morning motivations out of my books that I write, but I'm just speaking from my heart right now. I want to give you a few examples of prayer working for me. I was riding down the road one day. I was on the interstate. I was doing about 80 miles an hour. And all of a sudden, I was in the middle of the road. All of a sudden, my truck started doing 360s. And I come across 3 lanes of traffic. And I went off the shoulder of the road, and there was a tree line there. And I was headed for that tree line just as fast as that truck would spin and propel itself forward. And people, I didn't have time to offer up a lengthy prayer. I didn't have time to do anything but grab that wheel and say, Lord, help me, Lord, help me, Lord, help me. I said it 3 times. I spun across 3 lanes of traffic. And as I said, I was headed into the tree line, but there was a little patch of sand right there. And I come to a stop when I hit that patch of sand. I was fine. My passenger was fine. My truck was fine. And I had me a pit bulldog in the back of the truck. That pit bulldog was fine. And I got out and I looked, and my tire had separated and come apart. It was still holding air, but the tread had come off of the wheel and it was flopping. And I guess while I was going down the road, my tire it separated, it gave way. But I happened to be right there at the exit of the interstate when it happened. And I was able to drive real slow off the exit, and there was a truck stop right there. So it couldn't have been in a more convenient location. I pulled into the truck stop, and while I was changing my tire, my shirt, it had the name of my company on the back. And a guy come up and he read my shirt, and I picked up a $5,000 job right there. He read the back of my shirt. He asked me, "Hey, you do this?" I said, "Yeah, I do." And he said, "Oh man, I got this over here." We struck a deal right there. So not only did the Lord save my life and protect me, my passenger, my dog, and my vehicle, but he caused me to have a real soft landing and then pick up a job all at the same time. And I said nothing but, "Lord, help me. Lord, help me. Lord, help me." And in my moment of need, he was there. There was another time, there were several times actually. Long ago, I used to be strung out on cocaine and I would shoot it. And I can't tell you the times that I thought my life was ending and I was gonna die right where I was at. I can't tell you how many times that happened. And I would pray, "Lord, please don't let me die. Please don't let me die." My heart would be beating out of my chest. I would be blacking out. I would pass out. I would fall right where I was standing and collapse and hit the ground. And I'd just be saying, "Lord, please don't let me die. Please don't let me die." And folks, I want to tell you, I'm speaking to you right now, live and in person. He did not let me die. I could go on, and I could go on, and I could go on about the way that the Lord has answered prayer for me. I believe in it. I don't believe in it because it's some fairy tale. I believe in it because I've experienced it. If you turn on the hot water in a faucet and you stick your hand up under there and it burns you, there's not a person in the world who can tell you that hot water does not come out of that faucet. You just know. You've experienced it. You've been burnt by it. You felt it. There's no way somebody can say hot water does not come out of that faucet. You just know better. You know, I remember talking with a real good friend of mine. He doesn't believe in God. And I happened to be explaining something to him one time, and I was talking about my experience with God. And he told me, he says, "You know, I don't believe in that fairy tale. I don't believe in some invisible person up there in the sky." He said, "You believe what you want to believe. I don't believe that." And I told him, I said, "Buddy," I said, "I'm not preaching to you, but I want you to know the God I believe in ain't no fairy tale. I know him. I have a personal relationship with him. I talk to him. He talks to me." I said, "It'd be just like you if somebody tried to tell me that you didn't exist. I know better, man. I'm friends with you. I have a relationship with you. I talk to you. You talk to me. We see each other. I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that you exist, that you're real. I don't care if the people in Georgia or Tennessee or California or Colorado or Texas or anywhere else have not heard of you, have not seen you, have not spoke to you. You've not spoke to them, and they may be convinced that you don't exist." I said, "But brother, I'm not. I know you exist because you're my roommate. I live with you. And he kind of just looked at me. And people, I'm telling you here today, God exists. I know. He speaks to me. I speak to him. He cares about my concerns, and he cares about your concerns. And I don't care what your problem is, whether it's big, whether it's little, whether it's simple or complex. God is your answer. That's all I got for you today. I try not to get real religious on this channel. It's not really for that. I want to offer encouragement and inspiration, more motivations to people of all walks of life, to people of all faith. So I try not to get too much into that. But as I said, my last video was a prayer. It was a call to God for help. And he answered. And I felt like y'all deserve to know that. And I felt like I was obligated to bring y'all that information. So if you got anything out of this video, I appreciate if you like it. If you click subscribe, I come on every day with a morning motivation. If you're interested in my books, I'll leave a link in the description below. And y'all have a wonderful day. Up your averages.